Hey everybody, welcome to the Have You Ever Played podcast, the only podcast on the internet that is randomly generated by AI. I am Matt, aka Matt Fondude, and I am with my co-host James,
Yes, I'm James, aka James04E.
and we are joined by a new co-host today, Bing Chat GPT Bing
Oh
Chat, who
boy.
will be responsible for writing jokes and curating information for our podcast from now on.
Oh man.
Um, James, before I hit you or with the with our week recaps, do you want me to give you a beautiful joke that Bing wrote for us?
Sure, I would love to hear a joke written by Bing TM.
Let's see. Let's see what our joke is today. I haven't read it yet, so I'll read it. This is a live reading. Have you ever played a game so bad that you wish you could erase it from your memory? Well, I have good news for you. There's a new app called Forget Me Not that lets you do just that. It's like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, but for gamers. Just scan the barcode of the game you want to forget, and voila, it's gone from your brain forever. The only downside is that it also erases all your other memories, so use it with caution.
Oh god.
That'd be pretty worth it and not have to play games like Bad Rats anymore.
Haha.
All right, we'll read some more of these jokes later on as we go. But James, how has your week been?
um so I played a few games this week, but I
Hmm.
think the most dominant experience of my week was Sunday night where my friends invited me to play Uno.
Oh,
Um
Xbox 360 Uno.
we had many scenarios that led to us referencing that because so when you download Uno on Steam is like
Yes.
3.99, I think.
Hmm.
One of my friends already had it, and he assumed everybody just had Uno, like it was just a default thing. So
Well,
we're
everyone
like,
has Uno.
you're like, no, no, not everybody has Uno. You have to pay for it. It doesn't come with Steam.
I'm
He's,
pretty sure it comes with your Xbox.
and he just kept saying, like, unironically, I was under the assumption everybody had Uno. Like every time we said something about not having it.
Yeah, I bought that version of Uno on Steam, by the way, and refunded it. I don't know if this is gonna like
I
trump your story, but it didn't work.
it is connected to that.
Yeah.
So to play Uno, you need to have the Ubisoft Play launcher or
Oh
something
yes,
like
the
that.
UPlay, of course.
Uplay, yes. Um, and the UI is absolutely horrendous, like awful. Like just starting up the game is a struggle. But yeah. So basically, I just realized I'm offline on Steam. I don't know why. But basically, after all the trouble we went through actually getting Uno to work, right? We finally start up the game. And we're playing. So it's four of us. We're playing 2v2 Uno, which I've never done before. And my friend who was hosting accidentally put bottomless deck on. So he came up with a strategy where he did nothing but draw constantly. So he could get all like the cheese cards, like stack plus fours and like all that stuff. While his teammate was the one who actually had like low cards and the chance of actually being on Uno, because only one person has to actually win.
That sounds awful.
It
Who
was
would choose
horrendous.
to do that? Why
The
would you choose that version of the game?
Because he's a psychopath. Anyway, the game went on for an hour. So we finished that. We decided, okay, bottomless deck probably isn't it, and also 2v2 Uno probably isn't it. So we do free for all Uno. It's normal for a while. We have some decent games. Then also mind you, this session started at 11 p.m. So it is already midnight by the time we're done with the 2v2 Uno game. So then, after we do regular Uno games for about like 30, 40 minutes, right? We play like four games. They actually end in reasonable amounts of time. My friend says, "Hey, you know what would be funny? What if I just turned on all the wacky rules at once? Every single rule, like the stuff that makes like the zeros is like everybody swaps decks. Seven
Oh
is like
yeah,
you can
yeah.
choose who you swap decks with. Bottomless deck, like odd. Like there were all these crazy game ruining rules that just made it miserable. So we're playing this free for all Uno game. Everybody has like 30 cards in their deck. I actually recorded this. Let me go back and like get a count of the cards that everybody had.
All right, I have a hot take. I think
Sure.
house rules are awful almost all of the time, and they are implemented by people who are bad at games.
Yeah.
They're typically the people who are like can't sit through a game or are bad. So they need elements of randomness to ever have any fun because they will never win.
Hmm.
And I think those people also love Mario Party and Mario Kart. And when you play Mario Party with those people, it's like, oh, let's make it. They want to make it as unfair as humanly possible. It basically comes down to just like, let's just roll a die over and over
Hmm.
again, and then just there's a level of randomness that happens where it's like, what are we even doing anymore?
Yeah. So about
And
20
yeah,
minutes into this crazy Uno game, right? We're all on like 4 cards. The game proceeds to go on for 2 more hours.
oh my
And
god, why
so
would you sit through this?
I don't know because I just wanted it to be over. I didn't want to get up and like leave mid Uno game, but oh god. So basically the most annoying part of it was that people, if you had the exact same card that somebody just put down, you could jump in, which means that it skips to like your turn and you essentially put down that card and then it goes to the turn of the person next to you. So if people keep jumping in, somebody just keeps getting skipped all the time. So like you would go like a solid 3 minutes without even being able to play the game. Like if we're like counting like skip cards and things like that and like reverses. it, it just got to a point where it was so unbelievably miserable. Nobody was even close to winning, like at any point. Or people got close, like they got down to like some a couple people even got down to 1 card, but then they would just get spam skipped, and then they'd get like plus forward, and it was ridiculous. So it was very obvious after 2.5 hours nobody was gonna win. So I just intentionally jumped in so that it would skip the person next to me who was about to do a who was about to do a reverse on like a color that he knew the other person didn't have. So the game would just got delayed more. I just jumped in and put in the same color card or put in a different color card so we could actually end it. Because at that point, literally everybody knew what everybody else had. Like it, there, we had gone through so many different scenarios. We actually became Uno masters.
You see,
We,
that's kind of the problem with extended like house rules. I
yeah.
don't play Uno. I used to think that Uno was only played with the infinite draw till you get a card rule.
Hmm.
I didn't realize in the official rule set it's like draw one, whatever. Uh, the games just don't end.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's stalemates where you're just stuck, and it's like you just keep going, just keep drawing cards.
Yeah, and also, I believe the rules for this is technically Ubisoft that has the rights to Uno in this context. I believe the rules, like default, are actually different. I don't know exactly what rules are different because it's been a little bit since I've played like real life Uno, but I did look at a couple and I'm like, this doesn't look like it belongs here at all. What the hell is this? Um, but yeah, oh my god, it was just it was something else. House rules are bad, ladies and gentlemen. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, that sounds like you didn't have very much fun. Man, you play that sounded like more like you pain, am I right?
Yes.
Um
But yeah, I also
oh my
played
god.
I also played Slay the Spire. I think we talked about last week how you get there's a whole like fourth act because the game is like split up into acts. There's a whole fourth act that you can unlock if you beat the game on 3 different characters. And so initially I didn't care, but now I'm kind of like, wait, I actually like want to beat the game because I've seen this whole like end game cutscene where it's not really the end like too many times. So I decided to pick a different character, and this character's whole gimmick is he's like the assassin. He uses like poison, and he uses like a bunch of like these cards called shivs. Like his whole thing is he gets like really big hands because he
Mhm.
has a bunch of things that make him draw more cards and such and get more energy. And so I'm all the way to final boss. I'm kind of steamrolling, right? I'm at the end of Act 3. Like, okay, I'll just beat this final boss and I'll be done. I want to play this character again. And then I see the boss. It was essentially a boss custom engineered to hard counter me because
Oh.
the boss's whole gimmick is that every time you draw 12 cards, your turn just ends and it does a really high damage attack.
Oof.
This character does not have particularly high health and it has no way of like getting health back like some others do. So basically he was taking out half my health each one of these attacks and I'm like, well, I can't do anything but spam cards. So like I'm just dead.
The game caught you having fun.
Yeah, the game caught
It's
me
like,
having
"No,
fun.
punish you for having fun."
It's rather unfortunate. It was a certified roguelike moment.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it
Well, are you
was
just stuck there now?
I died, so I just restarted now, but it's kind of sad because I didn't want to have to play this character again.
Oof.
The next character
Yeah.
is going to be even more complex. It's like the invoker of the game. Like he's got all these like weird orbs and things like that, all these crazy effects.
See,
It's like man, I want to learn this.
I did talk about this before in roguelikes. I always stick with a handful of characters that I enjoy. And like
Hmm.
you say, there are those complex characters that it's just like this is for someone. It's never for me.
Yeah,
Like I never really enjoy the extremely complicated like juggling character that has like 100 different things and like has different stuff going on. Um
yeah. It's
it
like
does kind of
with
suck.
all due respect, I'm not a pianist.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that kind of sucks, but are you enjoying the game still?
Yeah, generally I'm enjoying the video game. Yeah. And besides that, I was gonna play Deep Rock Galactic this week because I'd heard really good things about it. And it was mega on sale. It was only like $8 or something. And I have one
Yeah,
friend who's like really into it.
that game is
Um,
great. I think it's only like 4 gigs or something stupid.
yeah, it's really small.
Crazy compression, like really really good use of space.
Hmm.
Um that game's really good. Yeah, you
Yeah,
should give it a
but
try.
yeah, I'll get into it soon. And then, what else did I play this week? There was a Dota update this week. They had been so Dota's it's not like there haven't been updates, but they haven't had these like major like game changing updates that the game is known for in a little bit, like maybe like a year. Um, and so they said like yeah, after the esports tournament that's going on right now ends, we're gonna release the update like the next day. And they were like they kind of like hyped it up a little bit because there's like a new character that came out with it, and they had hyped up that character a little bit as well. And it is a cool character to be fair, but apparently the like actual update they had planned got delayed because it wasn't ready yet. So the update that we got, it was a new character and then a bunch of like number tweaks for all the OP characters and stuff like that. Like not anything like super interesting or game changing. So yeah, lots of people were very disappointed. And I'm personally, I don't care too much. I would have loved for it to be like a game changing update, but it's like if they got a delay, it happens. But I still did play a little bit. I won some games and then I
Hmm,
stopped playing. I took my money and ran.
here you go.
Yeah. Then there's one more
How
thing.
often do you get new heroes or new what are they called in Dota?
New heroes, yeah.
Heroes.
Um,
Okay. Yep.
yeah, new heroes usually like twice a year. They're relatively close to each other. Um, Usually what happens is at the international, a hero gets announced. Sometimes they'll announce two. But yeah, one or two get announced at the international. Usually come out like first half or first quarter of the year, and then the next one will come out like a few months later, probably.
Hmm. How many heroes are there in total now in Dota 2?
Okay, let me check. So Dota 2 heroes. Wiki. I am not counting these myself. I need a
Yeah, I'm sure there might be something that
need
says
a
like
place.
total. I could ask the all-powerful
Oh
AI
wait,
how many
it's
heroes.
124.
There's 124.
Yes.
Um it is crazy to me that I mean those games kind of work with a lot of characters, but it is crazy to me. I've been playing Overwatch 2, which we'll get into when I talk about my week. But
Hmm.
that game is running into a similar thing where they keep adding characters and there's so many characters and you can only play like 5 at a time. And it just feels like they keep adding characters and it's eventually it's like when there must be characters, especially in like Dota, it's like that don't get picked that often because there's 124 of them. Like I wonder who
Yeah.
the lowest pick rate character is that just like
Um,
no one plays.
I can I can try to pull it up. So the thing with characters in Dota and like MOBAs in general is your picks are a little bit more impactful than in like Overwatch, for example. And I also think the designs are a little bit more unique because it's not bound by like FPS mechanics, and you also
Hmm.
can't switch characters more mid. You can't switch characters mid game. So like draft matters a lot. Uh, and I'm looking at them right now. So like the lesser picked characters are usually the ones that are more complex, like they have summoned units and things like that, and they aren't necessarily flashy. So it's understandable why they're lesser picked. They actually are. They're usually quite good at like a higher level. Um, and you'll find lots of the time that some of the worst heroes are actually some of the more unique or fun ones. So the game does usually do a pretty good job of balancing like making every character have like a fantasy. You know, like there's a player that wants to play this. You know,
Mhm.
usually the characters that get less picked are, and I'm looking at like pick rates and stuff right now. Uh, at like a higher level, it's usually just these characters that are just like kind of just like generic in what they do. Like some characters are just like generic like stunners, and it's like okay, I could pick this generic stunner, but I could also pick like character that does something a little more nuanced, I guess. And it's not necessarily that they're bad. Like they do cool things. They're good for like getting into the game and entry level. Um, but yeah, characters have their place in Dota. Whereas I think Overwatch, it's a little weird. I really do think that being able to switch characters mid game makes it actually a lot harder to balance, and also the map design and the fact that it's an FPS. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do when they really get up there in numbers, but it's an interesting thing to think about. You also have to consider that MOBAs aren't perfect. Like having all these characters, there are definitely flaws with it. Like I said before, with how important drafts are, that can feel really bad. Um, like when you're playing a MOBA, if you're solo queuing, like sometimes games just the moment there's a draft, you're just like, oh, this game is like 70-30 in the enemy's favor. Like
Yeah.
crap, this just feels awful, right?
And
Uh,
one thing about Overwatch that you brought up that I kind of got me thinking, it's like when they do have like 100 characters and you can switch between them all freely, it's gonna be so overwhelming. It already kind of is overwhelming just seeing a screen full of like a million icons and like trying to find a character is like, oh my god, where even are they? You're gonna have like a
yeah,
search button, a box to find your character. Um, and I wonder if a solution. I think they brought this up when they were coming up with Overwatch 2 ideas of like retiring characters for seasons and having, a
mm,
new cast and kind of like swapping people out. I think a lot of people didn't like that because a lot of people spent time,
I heard about that.
learning
Yeah.
characters. I just don't know what you can do. And that's kind of the thing with Smash too. Smash Ultimate has so many characters, you kind of can't. The next game can't really have that cast of characters in it.
Mm.
It's one of those things where it's like these games become like live service games where they just constantly update it. They're just so big that it's like, how do you even continue growing?
Yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about with that. I mean, first of all, I think the whole retiring characters for seasons thing. I know Fortnite, they do like their Volt guns and stuff like that for seasons, but it works a little bit differently because it's a BR, right? You can't just say like, oh, I like this gun and and like I can guarantee having it every game. So if they Volt it, like my gameplay completely changes or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I do think that I do very much agree with your comment about how if they have like 100 characters and you can just switch at any time, it'll become super overwhelming. I think that before I would like, I think I would like to see character switching limited to some degree, not necessarily removed, but limited to some degree before they think about like swapping out characters. Um, and then I also think part of the issue is that the character swapping thing, from my point of view, it feels like a very FPS thing. Like it's like being able to just switch and customize like what you're doing at any time. Like I'm getting countered. I'll change this. It doesn't necessarily encourage you so much to play around the matchups, which is what a MOBA would more so do.
Like a fighting game.
Yeah, a fighting game or a MOBA. Yeah, yeah. So it's like I feel like, and that's always been a bit of a problem with Overwatch. People always complain like, oh, there's so many abilities and like visual clutter, like gunplay doesn't matter, things like that. And it's always kind of been stuck between the whole like character based game and FPS thing for like a really long time. I would say like ever since like maybe like 2019 or so.
I do think they've been getting better at some things in Overwatch 2. Like they've removed a lot of CC. Like they've removed a lot of stuns and things like May freezing you. Just things that take away your control, which were really kind of annoying. Um, and they've I think made it better in a lot of ways. I kind of like the new 5v5 and the one tank. Um, but yeah, at the same time, it does have this. I don't know. It is kind of like all over the place.
Hmm.
And I think adding new heroes constantly to that game is weird because like I haven't even tried the newest tank Ramatra because again I'm doing what you were trying to do
Oh
where you
god, the
need to win
35 wins.
35 wins on
Oh
tank or all
no.
queue. I've been playing this game. I've been playing tons of matches, more so than I have in a long time. I mean, I have actually discovered that DPS turns out is fun. Turns out playing
Hmm.
DPS is fun in the video game.
Who would have thunkered?
Um, yeah, so much so that I'm like, I kind of don't want to play the other roles because DPS is fun.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I've just it's still not. I'm like not even close, and
Hmm.
um, it is weird. It's just like yeah, just keep adding characters. Like I don't know who to play anymore. And now also it's like there's a character. Is it Kiriko or something? There's another healer who is basically like a remixed version of Zenyatta. And now I'm like, I like Zenyatta. And now it's like, well, now pick that character because she's better. And I'm like, what? Well, I
Oh
like
yeah.
Zenyatta, but it's like, I mean, you can still play these characters, but it's starting to be like, and also, there's like Sojourn or whatever, who's like a remixed soldier. And it's like, well, is she better than him? Because I like to play soldier. It's like, do I play her because she seems like she has like a newer kit? It's almost like that power creep thing of like, here's the character from the like patch one, and now it's like unless they retune them and add different things to them, they do feel kind of like, well, soldier can run like in sprint, and a new character has like 15 passives and can do like a million things and can do everything.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it
I,
does almost feel like why even bother playing some of these older characters. Like I'm trying to think of like people. I think it's more relevant in like tanks because I'm trying to think like
yeah, definitely. I agree
there's
with that.
certain tanks I don't see that often.
I think Reinhardt is kind of a case of that where it's like, why would I play Reinhardt in all these situations where I could just play like Ramatra or Orisa or something, because they just actually outbrawl him, and they're also like more flexible in lots of cases.
Yeah, I mean I play Reinhardt when I play tank, and he's not a. It's like it's so different. You don't really play it like a tank anymore. You kind of run in, and as long as you have a
Yeah,
good healer, you can just be unkillable and like bully the entire enemy team.
yeah.
But you do notice if you get into like a 1v1 with another Reinhardt, or if you fight a tank, you're just gonna be swinging at them the whole match, and neither of you will die, and nothing happens. Like, and there's characters like Roadhog now who I don't understand. I'm like, how do you make an off tank their own character? Right? Isn't that weird? Yeah. Turns out you just give Roadhog infinity health, and he just can't die. Like Roadhog doesn't die the entire match. I mean,
Yeah.
he gives you ult charge, he comes close to dying, and then he'll use his E full heal, or if he gets healed, it's impossible
Hmm.
to kill him. You have to have an Ana or an Ana or whatever throw a grenade at him to anti heal, and then try to kill him. I don't know. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, my week, I played Overwatch 2 a lot. That's basically
Yeah.
talking about it. I did a bad thing a couple minutes ago.
Oh
Um,
boy.
I
Did
did
you
a
buy a
really bad
skin?
thing. I didn't buy a skin. I
Multiple
bought
skins.
a bundle.
I saw they had the anime skins.
Okay, they added One Punch Man
Yeah.
event. I think okay, I love One Punch Man. The best skin is actually free. It's the Moomin Rider skin for Soldier, but you need to
Ooh.
beat 26 matches, or actually participate in 26 matches or something.
Like, as any
Or
character?
yeah, I think there's like 6 tiers of this, so I'm wondering if it's compete in 26 matches 6 times. So like compete in
Hmm.
like 100 matches, like
Yeah,
hundreds of
sheesh.
matches. You don't have to win, but you get double points for winning. So I think it is
Oh
like
man.
do like a couple hundred matches.
Yeah,
Um,
so I had seen like tweets about those skins, and I'm like, oh, I might get one if one of them looks cool. Like,
don't
I
buy them. They're so expensive. It's twenty
wait, how,
dollars for a skin.
oh my god.
It was $40 for the bundle for the three
Sheesh.
skins. They came with also it's $40, but you have to buy the $50 coin pack to pay for
Oh
the
no.
$40. So I paid $50 um for skins. So it's 3 skins. They don't honestly, they don't even look that good. They're the Moomin Rider one looks great, which is free. Doomfist one, Saitama looks good. Tornado and like Genos don't look that great, to be honest.
Wait, who did
Um,
they make Genos?
Genji, but
Oh,
he
it's
doesn't.
Genji.
He doesn't look it. They don't look that good, honestly. Um, I don't see
Did
myself really using them,
hmm
but besides Saitama and Moomin Rider, but they also all had emotes and poses and stuff and voice lines, and they were fun. And I'm like, this sucks. Why? Like, I was like, how much should they be? Like $30, $20 for the bundle? No, it's way too expensive. But it's something that's probably never. It's the FOMO too. It's never gonna be back in the game. I enjoy this media franchise a lot
hmm
of One Punch Man. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna buy it. I would never buy this on any other thing. But it's
Yeah.
like, I know for a fact later down the line, if I do play this game and continue playing it, if it's like 2 years down the line, I'm still somehow enjoying it. If I see someone in game with one of those skins, I'll be like, man, that sucks that I missed that. Um, because I've done that with other games with like things I've actually wanted to get, like in Final Fantasy 14, they had a fat chocobo skin, which you can get now, but I think at one point you couldn't get it for a long time. I'm like, man, it would have
hmm
been worth it to get it. Um, but still $50 for the bundle. And of course they're like, it's actually like an 8,000 like credit value, which is like 100 something dollars. It's like it's not. $20 for a skin is the normalized skin now. Because I guess they put them
Man.
in bundles with that have like sprays and stuff like that, which is like no, that doesn't matter. You're
Yeah,
paying for the skin.
I know in Apex, the skins are similar price. They're a little under $20, like effectively 18, but
It's so
you have to buy the
much
$20
money.
thing. But in in Apex, you can use like an in-game currency that you would get by like playing to also purchase the skins if you want. Obviously like the like ratio of how much you would need to pay for with real money versus like in-game money is like essentially double, but
Mhm.
it's like for some people that just like save up that money, right? Like every time there's an event that comes up, they can just like buy whatever skins they want, basically. Um, but yeah, I mean, I kind of had the same thing with you, where I was like, these skins look okay. I do like One Punch Man. I need to catch up on the manga, but
Mhm. I am
I'm
now
like,
caught up.
yeah, I'm like, maybe I'll buy one or two, and then I'm like, I downloaded Overwatch today, and I had an update that still isn't done even now, and it's like, yeah, I kind of had that experience where I'm like, I may want these skins one day
That's the
because
thing. That's the
because I
killer. That's the mind
yeah,
killer.
it's because like I know inevitably Overwatch has at least like what, like 5 years left in it. So
I
it's
don't know.
like
They're gonna keep it going with the games as a service stuff.
it depends. I mean, I I don't know.
Overwatch 3's down the line.
Yeah, I think that people undersell a little bit. Overwatch is actually a pretty successful game franchise. I think
Yeah.
the main problem with the game, as far as like finance, is I think the Overwatch League, because Blizzard lost a lot of sponsors, and
Mhm.
it's kind of like become a bit of a money sink for them. But I do think that the game has like decent longevity.
Well, now
Um,
that it's free to play, they can just make that bushels of money, and they're gonna be doing they're definitely gonna be doing a lot more of these like Fortnite esque crossover skins. Um, and they'll be doing like Demon Slayer and like Naruto will be in the game, and then they'll have like I don't know, they'll just do a lot of skins. And I honestly, I'm weak. I'm a weak man, you know.
Same.
If it's a skin from a franchise, this never happens too. But if it's something that's like, man, I actually really like that, I'll do it. I'll pay it for it because it's worth it to me if it's something so kind of like out of nowhere, like a One Punch Man. It's like I want these skins. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Did you hear that
Um,
one of the devs got asked if they'd ever do like streamer skins or something like that? And they
oh,
said no. And so the article that I saw that had it had a Mr. Beast Overwatch skin
yes.
in the thumbnail.
Well, peep the Matt Fondude streamer skin coming soon. I'll be
Oh
like
man.
my skin will be grafted over Bastion. Like
Jesus
it'll just
Christ.
be like a JPEG of my face, but just like stretched over the textures of Bastion. Um, yeah. Hey, you want to play Overwatch after the podcast? If
Oh
it's
god.
installed, I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm
if
gonna
this
be
thing actually
grinding.
finishes.
All right, beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing that to get the Moomin Rider skin. The Moomin
Mhm.
Rider skin looks fantastic, and there's a Moomin Rider. It's Soldier, by the way. He's Moomin Rider, and he's
Mhm.
riding on the bicycle in the victory pose,
Oh
and it's
my god.
great. And he does the bicycle crash. It's
Oh
so good.
my
It's
god.
so good. It's like actually. What's funny is the Moomin Rider skin is the one I cared about the most, and it's the best one, and it's free.
Mhm.
Um.
Oh, you know what I just thought about? So you remember when they revealed the Doom when they first revealed the Doomfist skin? Everybody
Mhm.
was like, "Oh, what other skins were they gonna do?" And somebody posted like a concept art of a Sigma Tatsumaki skin.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
Yes,
And when they revealed it was Kiriko, I was like, "Damn, what a
they
missed
messed up. They
opportunity!"
really
There's
did
no
mess up.
no
Yeah.
correlation between the characters at all, besides the fact that they're both small.
Yeah, they messed up big time.
Oh man, bag fumbled.
They also knew that people would pay more money for bare-legged woman.
Yeah, I mean, let's
Um,
see. Let's see what
$20.
like let's see if there were any other characters they could have even done besides
Oh,
Sigma
from One
that
Punch
actually had
Man?
no, like characters they could have made Tatsumaki or given the Tatsumaki skin instead of like
Moira?
Kiriko. Like
No, not really.
so
That doesn't really make
I'm thinking of
sense.
like characters that have like abilities that are even
Sigma, you know
close.
what? Yeah, Sigma throws rocks and stuff too.
Yeah, like
He
he's
has
got
like
like
telekinetic
telekinesis.
power. Yeah,
There's like
yeah, that makes yeah.
Sigma.
Kiriko's kind of stupid.
I would have accepted Zarya.
Nah, they would never have done that. It had to
Um,
be. It had to be Kiriko.
I would have taken Tracer.
Tracer has too many skins. Kiriko needed a
True.
skin, to be honest, though. She's like so
Um,
new.
Symmetra maybe.
Symmetra, people are saying Portal skin.
Farah.
I would love a Chell Portal skin for Symmetra.
Oh man. Let's
That
see
like
how.
the makes the most have the portal be the portal. Blah blah
Hmm.
blah. Like that's just makes sense.
Oh god, they could have done Farah or Echo for the Tatsumaki skin. I would have taken
Again,
that. At least they
again,
fly.
Pharah has a ton of skins. It would be Echo maybe, but Echo's a robot. It doesn't really make
Yeah.
like I guess from
I
what they worked with, it makes sense. But
I
whatever.
don't know. I guess they just realized, yeah, Kiriko has like one skin, guys. We got to do something here.
Yeah. Um. So outside of Overwatch 2, I got invited to the Microsoft Bing Chat GPT Bing search.
Pog.
Um, it's so good. It's good as a meme, but good like as useful. So if you don't know what this is, on Microsoft Bing, they're trying to reinvent Bing to actually be good, and I think they might have done it. It uses Chat GPT, which is like an AI that um basically is like it uses like the learning language model. Whatever. There's
Hmm.
science
Yeah,
and
isn't it? Isn't
whatever.
it made by OpenAI?
Yeah, but
That's cool.
Microsoft paid a boatload of money. They paid Overwatch skin money to
Oh boy,
OpenAI or whatever. It got
Overwatch
acquired
skin
Chat
money.
GPT technology. So now it can search the internet and give you crazy things like for an example, I wanted to look at graphics cards. So I have a GTX 1080.
Hmm.
So I typed in I have a GTX 1080 and want to upgrade my graphics card. And then I said, and then it gave me like, oh, here's some price range. Do you have a price range? Here's some graphics cards. It listed out graphics cards with sources.
Oh
And then
my
I
god.
said, well, here is my price range. And then it gave me two graphics cards and it said, these two are a good upgrade from your current GPU. Then I said, okay, compare them. And then it gave me a bulleted list of pros and cons for each thing. And then it gave me like, here's the blah blah blah, here's blah blah blah, and then I was like, oh cool. So if I want to buy this, I kind of narrowed it down. That would have been like a 10-hour Reddit search of people being like, well, actually, the best GPU is 40 grand. It's like, well, no, what do you? I mean, best GPU in this price range. It's like, well, you really should get the 40 grand one.
Hmm.
And there's a whole I don't know Reddit rabbit hole. Um,
Yeah.
I've also used it to write jokes. I've been using it to write tweets for me.
Oh
Um,
boy.
and you can also get it to do. You could get it to do lots of crazy stuff. Let's you know what? Let's read some more of these jokes that it gave us. We can also give it notes too. We can here actually. Do you want to pop into a Discord call real quick, and I'll share
Yeah,
my
sure.
screen. All right, I'm gonna call you. Oh God, Discord.
Wow,
Actually,
that
I
is
don't think they'll
loud.
hear that. I don't think they'll hear that.
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think that's how this works. All right, perfect. So you can see this, right?
Yeah,
All right, I'll read some of these jokes for you, and we can ask it to like make the jokes less bad and stuff like that.
make
All
the
right, so
jokes less bad.
James, have you ever played a game so scary that you had nightmares for weeks? I'm talking about games like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Outlast, and of course, Animal Crossing. Yes, Animal Crossing. Don't let those cute animals fool you. That game is terrifying. You have to pay off a huge debt to a raccoon who'll break your legs if you don't. You have to deal with annoying neighbors who won't stop talking to you. And of all, you have to catch bugs and fish for hours on end. That's not fun. That's torture. Oh, you want
Oh
to read the other
man.
one? These are like the hackiest jokes too. It's great.
Oh my god. Have you ever played a game so addictive that you couldn't stop playing it? I'm sure we all have. Games like Tetris, Candy Crush, Fortnite, and Minecraft can keep us hooked for hours or even days. But what if I told you there's a game that's even more addictive than those? A game that will make you forget about everything in your life. A game that will consume your every waking moment. Well, there is such a game, and it's called Podcast Simulator 2023. Yes, Podcast Simulator 2023 is the ultimate game for podcast lovers. You get to create your own podcast from scratch, choose your topic, record your episodes, edit your audio, upload your files, promote your show, and interact with fans. You can even collaborate with other podcasters and compete for ratings and awards. It's the most realistic and immersive podcast experience ever created. And best of all, it never ends. There's always something new to do in Podcast Simulator 2023. So what are you waiting for? Download Podcast Simulator 2023 today and start living the podcast dream.
That's not even a joke. That's like an ad read.
What? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That like they're talking about like in this game you can record a podcast, edit it, upload it. Like that's literally just having a regular podcast.
All right, I'm going to type in the prompt. Write a script for the video game podcast. Have you ever played podcast featuring Matt and James? All right, let's get it to write us a nice script for our podcast. So
Oh
what
boy.
it will do is it'll look up the podcast. I don't know how well it's gonna find it because I don't think there's any transcripts anywhere of the
Hmm.
podcast, but it'll look up the Twitter account and it'll look up stuff like that. If I type in like Matt Fun Dude, it looks up my Twitter and like takes it did a thing where I said make a shit post for me based on my Twitter, and it actually went on my Twitter and found a bunch of shit posts that it found tweets that I had and it said these could be considered shit posts, and it showed me them. Right now it is generating a script for us. And oh wow, it looks like it found the book club for games old. All right, it
What
found
the
some
hell?
sort of metadata somewhere. So we're gonna read our script. All right, perfect. Let's read this amazing script. Hello and welcome to the Have You Ever Played podcast, the podcast where we play video games weekly in a book club style. I'm Matt, and with me is James. How are you doing, James? And that used to be our podcast.
I'm doing great, Matt. Thanks for asking.
So today we're going to be talking about one of our favorite games of all time, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. This game was released in 1998 for the Nintendo 64, and it's widely considered one of the best games ever made.
That's right, Matt. This game was a huge milestone for the Zelda series and for video games in general. It introduced a 3D open world, a dynamic day night cycle, an innovative combat system, and a memorable story.
Absolutely. I remember playing this game for the first time when I was a kid and being blown away with how immersive and epic it was. It felt like I was living in a fantasy world full of adventure and mystery.
Me too, Matt. This game has so many memorable moments that stuck with me over the years. Like when you first pull out the Master Sword from the Temple of Time and travel 7 years into the future.
Or that part when you meet Sheik, who turns out to be Princess Zelda in disguise. Spoilers.
Or when you fight Ganondorf at his castle and then escape before it collapses.
Or that I like how we're just listing things that happen. Or when
What?
you finally face Ganon in his beast form and deliver that final blow with light arrows.
Or when you say goodbye to Navi at the end of the game.
Oh man, don't make me cry, James.
Sorry, Matt. But seriously, this game is amazing, and if you haven't played it yet, you should definitely give it a try.
Yes, please do yourself a favor and play this game if you haven't already. You will not regret it.
Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for listening to Have You Ever Played? We hope you enjoyed our discussion on The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
And don't forget to tune in next week where we'll be talking about another classic game we love.
Until then,
Have
have
fun
fun
playing.
playing.
Our catchphrase, have fun
Oh my
playing. We
god.
should use that as our catchphrase.
Oh my
That
god.
was actually that was way more professional than anything we've ever
No
written
way.
for the
Yeah.
pod. All right. Now,
Oh my
I
god.
can
That
get
was
it to
great.
turn that into uwu speak. I can get it to turn that into a poem. I can make it into a rap song
Woo
version.
speak.
Um,
Oh god.
I can also tell it. All right, how about let's see. Maybe we can say, give us some viewer mail to answer on our podcast. Okay, so you can email us at hyeppodcast@gmail.com. That is the hyeppodcast@gmail.com. If you don't email us, we will use the AI to create viewer mail. So let's do that. Let's see if it does that.
Yeah,
Viewer
if
mail,
you don't
video game
email
podcast.
us, we'll replace you with an AI.
All right, here we go. We got a message coming in here from Jake from New York. I like how it gives you like fake people from where they are. That's great. All
What?
right. Actually, this is a totally real message from Jake from New York. Hi, Matt and James. I love your podcast and I listen to it every week. I have a question for you. What are some of the best video game soundtracks of all time? For me, it's hard to choose, but I really like the music from Final Fantasy VII, Halo, and Persona 5. What about you? Thanks for the awesome show, Jake from New York. Well, Jake, I really agree with you. I love the music of Persona 5 and Persona 4, so much so that I bought them on vinyl and I'm still waiting for them a couple years down the line. Still haven't
Still
heard
waiting
anything.
for them.
Yeah, I ordered them like a couple years ago. I guess they'll
Oh
appear
no.
eventually. Um, but no, the Persona actually invented jazz. I don't know if you know that, James.
Oh wow.
But yeah, Persona actually invented jazz. Before Persona, it was just any I don't know. They just called it like do do da da piano
Doo
music.
doo da da.
No, I really do like the. If we're gonna answer these legitimately, and I actually do think this is a new segment, we're gonna totally have AI viewer mail because it actually worked really well. Um, I like how sorry, one of the pre-responses it generated for us was, "Can you tell us how to get more viewers for the podcast?" Wow,
Damn.
that's cold, Bang. Um, but no, Persona 5. Actually, so James, are you done talking about your weekend stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. One more thing before we answer this viewer question. I beat Silent Hill. That game is really good.
Based.
Watch it on my YouTube VOD channel to get my full opinions on Silent Hill. Let's just mess with this AI question stuff. I think this is a good segment right now. I'm
Oh
into it.
boy.
Um, yeah, no, Persona 5. I need to beat it. But Persona 4, I've listened to that game soundtrack in my car, and it's so good. I put headphones in and walk around and pretend that I'm walking around in the game to the generic like background music, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. Um, I also think Katamari has fantastic music. I also listen to that. Like, I will sit down. I think my metric for good music in a game is I will sit down and listen to it outside of just the game.
Hmm.
Um, do you have a specific game soundtrack that you like?
Yeah, I really agree with Persona 5. Um, I gotta say, Halo 3 always has to be up there. No other video game soundtrack is getting hummed in the boys' bathroom at high school.
Oh, you're
Simple as
right.
that.
Halo
Un-
honestly has the if you're in a stairwell, everyone's just going oh, you know what I mean?
hmm.
You're hitting that title theme.
Yeah,
And I
and
didn't even play Halo.
yeah, exactly. It's universal. You don't even have to play the game. Trying to think if there's any other ones, and any other ones that like haven't already been mentioned.
Smash Bros just
Yeah,
with
Smash
their
Bros. Soundtrack is
arrangements,
very good,
so good.
top tier. Um, and let me check my Spotify. Are there any game soundtracks that I just like listen
Oh,
to
you know
normally?
what? Daytona, what was that? Daytona, let's go away. Sonic
Uh,
R as well.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Most
lots
of
of
the
Sonic
Sonic
games.
games,
Yeah,
pretty much
lots of
all the
Sonic games
Sonic
have good
games.
soundtracks. Like
Yeah.
Was it a Sonic Adventure 2, I think?
Yeah, rolling
Yeah.
around at the speed of sound.
Oh my god, yeah.
I don't even
That
like
soundtrack was
Sonic,
great.
but the soundtrack's all bangers.
Yeah.
Um, what are some other good? There's a
Uh,
lot of games that have good soundtracks.
I'm scrolling through all my liked songs in Spotify.
All the Donkey Kong Country games, specifically Donkey Kong Country Sticker Brush Symphony, um, the Pokemon games have good soundtracks.
Hmm.
Mario 64, just like most games.
Yeah, all the standards,
Yeah.
all the regulars.
Do you find anything?
Um, nah, it doesn't look like it.
All right. Do you want to read the next question from our other loyal fan?
Sure. Hello, Matt and James. I'm a huge fan of your podcast, and I appreciate your insights on video games. I have a suggestion for your. I have a suggestion for you. Can you do an episode on indie games? There are so many indie games out there that deserve more attention and recognition. Oh God, I don't know if I can read this next sentence. Some of my favorites are Celeste, Hollow Knight, and Hades. What are some indie games that you enjoy playing? Keep up the good work. Laura from London. Yes, I believe Celeste, Hollow Knight, and Hades need a lot more attention.
Hey,
I think that
okay.
they're so slept on. Nobody I ever talked to has ever heard of them. Can't even hold a conversation about them. It's insane.
Not not to offend our friend Laura from London, from AI London. And honestly, I don't. If I wish we, in a way, I wish we never said this was AI because this is like working actually really well. We could have pretended we were way cooler than we are.
Man.
But we know we'll live with it. Um, I think Celeste, Hollow Knight, and Hades are fantastic games. Um,
Yes.
yeah, you've been playing Hades a bit recently, right?
Uh Not so much recently. I have played it a lot though. Like let me check how many hours I have on it.
Have you played Hollow Knight at all?
I played it on Xbox a while back. I don't think I finished it. I don't remember, but I
You
did really
you
like it.
should finish it. It's really good.
Yeah.
Like
That's
in my in my like top 50 of games of all time. I think
hmm
it's really really good.
Yeah, I have like 30 hours on Hades, it looks like. So yeah, I
Mhm.
played it a pretty good amount. A
Celeste,
chunky sum.
do you ever play Celeste?
I actually haven't played Celeste. I need to play it. I think
I
I have it on my wish list.
I played Celeste and it has one of those things in gaming where you can get these apples as like a side collection. It makes the game a little bit harder. You get these collectibles, but it did that thing to me where I'm like, I need to do this. I need to get the collectible on every stage, and it got
Hmm.
to the point where I'm like, I wasn't playing the game because it was getting too hard with the collectibles,
Yeah.
and I fell off. I think I'm better about that in gaming now, but when I played this, yeah,
Hmm.
that's a pretty good game though.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, an indie game episode. I play like some real indie stuff on itch.io. Um, that's like I just find some random games. I love that. I love playing games made by people like one person, just making something.
Hmm.
I think they're all really interesting. It's interesting to see what some people make, especially like RPG Maker games, where someone will make something that it's like weird. It's like it breaks conventions of traditional game design, where it's like, why would you put this combat system in, or why would you make movement this way, or like this like it's an RPG, but it uses like DDR to like play the game. It's like weird stuff like that you don't get
Hmm.
in like bigger games. Um, yeah, and all right, let's read the next question from Ryan from Sydney.
Oh boy.
We got a worldly audience of
Yeah,
one
sheesh.
named, no last name people.
Yeah.
Greetings, Matt and James. I'm a loyal listener of your podcast, and I've always looked forward to your discussion on video games. I have a challenge for you. Can you name three video games that changed your life? For me, they are Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, The Last of Us, and Portal. These games had a profound impact on me emotionally, intellectually, and creatively. What are some video games that changed your life? Thanks for the amazing show. Ryan from Sydney.
Oh,
Dota changed your life probably for the worst.
yeah, probably. I mean, sheesh. I was scared when it started listing games. I thought it was gonna say some like really really bad game.
Big rigs over the whatever truck racing.
Yeah, I was just sitting here like damn. I hope he doesn't say something that's absolutely trash because I'm gonna make fun of it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, sheesh. The games that have changed my life. I mean, Batman Arkham City. I really liked that game. That was a great game.
Hmm.
I played that for an unreasonable amount of time for a uh relatively linear single player game. Like it was technically open world, but like wasn't that much space to explore. The combat was just really really good. And it's still even today it's like the blueprint for like superhero or single player superhero games as far as like combat goes. Um and then I don't know. You just say the third one, I don't know, I'll just say Bloodborne or something.
Oh, we had to give a top three.
Yeah, I think so. I
Um,
believe so.
Bloodborne. Yeah, yeah. I've been meaning to play the Arkham games. I've never been a huge Batman fan. So I bounced off the IP a little bit. Those games always go on sale, and I have them on Epic Games for free, and I think I even have them on Steam because they went for like sale for like a couple bucks.
Hmm.
Um, I just didn't, I bounced off those games a bit. I think I would like them. Um,
I did hear that the PC ports were a little wonky.
eh,
I'm not 100% sure if that's still the case.
it might be. I think there was something with the lighting changes. They did like
Maybe.
a remaster, and the lighting was weird, or
Yeah.
something was strange. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think. I think Mario 3 is probably a huge game, and actually Rayman 1 are big games for me. I don't know if they're life changing, but like those were some of the first games I really played, and they're both extremely hard platform games, and I go back and play them often. I think a game like that has a lot of impact in terms of Rayman 1, again, another game with really good music and art. But that game,
Hmm.
I really like that game a lot. I don't think I would like that game as much if I didn't wasn't nostalgic for it. I think it's a really good game, but it's way too hard and kind of broken in some places and a little unfinished.
Hmm.
Um, but that's a big life changing kind of game. I want to just say like gut, just be like Terraria because I also put so many hours in that game. That game is really good. Um, Persona 4 was really good, and I played that recently, and that was like a really impactful. Like I haven't felt the need to like put 90 hours in a game and like really was kind of like sucked into a game. Um that was kind of a recent example of getting like sucked into a universe and playing it and really enjoying it, even though
Hmm.
the gameplay wasn't so great, but the music and everything else was awesome. Um yeah, game changing. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. I think things like Little Big Planet and like games where you can make your own games within games are really impactful. I think yo-yo games and flash games were a huge part of what games I like. Yo-yo games being the Game Maker website. They used to host games that people made in Game Maker on their website, and you could play them. And
Hmm.
I would spend hours and hours doing that. And that was my one of my favorite things. And you can't really do that anymore because they took the website down. And there's ways to get those games back, but like it's not the same.
Hmm.
Um, that's kind of why I've been liking the itch.io stuff. It's the same. I love playing games made by like individuals and like games where you can make your own games. I think those are my favorite
Hmm.
types of games to play. But yeah, that was a long worded answer. Do you want to read? You can probably pick one of these next ones. You don't have
Oh
to
god,
read
yeah. Well,
them.
we can pick one. All
Yeah.
right. I'll do the second one. Hello, Matt and James. I'm a loyal listener of your podcast, and I appreciate your humor and passion for video games. I have a dilemma for you. Why do they always call these questions like a dilemma? Like they act like it's like a big moral dilemma. Like if your brother and your grandmother were hanging off a cliff, who would you save first? Like man, uh,
I would save Undertale.
all right. So if you could play one video game for the rest of your life, what would it be? For me, it would be Skyrim because it has so much content and variety that I can never get bored of it. What about you? Thanks for your amazing show, Sarah from Toronto.
What would you say?
So it needs to be a game with not just a bunch of mods, but like an active modding community
Mm-hmm.
that makes mods that go outside of the base gameplay loop. Because
Gary's mod.
if I ever yeah, Gary's mod is definitely an option. So, like, the thing is, if I ever get bored of the base game, like Skyrim, for example, at the end of the day, for the most part, I am still playing Skyrim, right?
Hmm.
So if I were to ever say like I never want to touch Skyrim again, like the base gameplay is poopy, I hate it, then like no matter what mods I put on it, it's still Skyrim. Gmod is a very good one.
I would say
Uh,
controversial take Roblox, or I mean,
yeah, Roblox
a-
is a good one too.
any game that has its own script, you can just script a game in it. I've seen people make every game under the sun in Roblox. If you play Roblox, you can play Team Fortress 2, like a perfectly functional version of it, and Counter Strike and Pokemon before they took Pokemon Brick Bronze down.
Hmm.
Um, then again, you could say that about like I would just want to play like a game making engine, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Um. Yeah. For me, it would either be Gmod or Dota because Dota does have a very good system for custom games and like various mods to the point where like everybody knows like auto chess and stuff like it's literally
yeah,
you can literally make completely new games, even like completely new control schemes and things like that. um and then like Gmod is just obvious, it's literally built for to have an active modding community that
yeah.
does all
To
sorts of
be more
wacky stuff.
future forward, we can say Sandbox, his Gary's next project,
Oh
which is
boy.
basically going to be Gmod 2, even
Wait,
though he does
Gary?
not want to. Gary Newman
Oh my god. I
of
didn't.
Face Punch.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
I actually never looked that up. I didn't know he
Gary,
I didn't
his
know it was
mod.
actually named after. I didn't know it was actually like that. Damn.
Yeah, so
Shows how much
Sandbox,
I know about Gary's mod.
it is gonna be Gmod 2. I don't want to say that because they keep saying it's not Gmod 2, but as a shorthand, it's gonna be Gmod 2. It's gonna be more than Gmod 1. It's gonna be like I described, almost like a game engine. It's Source 2. It's
Hmm.
basically like Source 2 creator kit for creators to make more types of games, more than could be done in Gmod.
Oh my god, the team Face Punch Studios also made Rust. I didn't even know
Yes.
that. Damn.
Yep. I would love nothing more than to be invited to the Sandbox like closed beta, but um, Gary, hit me up, please. I
Damn.
put 2,000 something hours in Gary's mod,
Yeah,
which is
Gary
not
hit
a
his
lot,
line.
but I really like that game, and I really want to like do I'm probably gonna stream a bunch of content from that game. Same thing with Little Big Planet, which apparently may come to PC. There's some leaks about that.
Hmm.
And also Restitched or whatever, Unstitched, or the spiritual successor game. Any game where you can make games in it, I love. Um, yeah, let's see. Let's read this other question.
Wait, I just realized I'm on the Face Punch website, and they say we're also working on Sandbox, our next generation game creation and modding platform, and spiritual successor to Gary's mod.
Yeah, but
So it is Gary's mod too.
no, but Gary literally was like, "Don't call it Gary's Mod 2 because you can do more. It's not it is in spirit the same game, but it's more like a Roblox. You can do anything kind of thing.
Hmm.
It's like I pictured it as adult Roblox.
Damn, so it's like an upgrade of Gary's mod, almost like a
Yeah,
sequel.
Gary's Mod 2, as in Gary's Mod also, like TOO.
Damn.
Uh, yeah, no,
Wait, we should look at this third question. This is a good one.
oh, okay.
This would be a good one to end it on.
But let me generate some funny questions too, and see if it is a big funny. That's a pretty good question.
That is
Oh my god.
man.
Okay, wait, that's kind of a fantastic question. All right, well, wait. What are all these are awful. Wait, what? These are great. Wait a minute. Let's read. All right. We'll read this question and actually answer it, and then we'll read out just the comedy questions, just to like. Yeah. Okay. Do you
All
wanna read this
right.
out?
Sure. Greetings, Matt and James. I'm a huge supporter of your podcast and I admire your knowledge and opinion on video games. I have a trivia question for you.
Oh, the trivia master sniffed this one out.
What is the best selling video game of all time? For me, it's Minecraft.
That's not how a trivia question is
because
structured,
it has
Alex from
one
Paris.
because it has 200 million, it has over 200 million copies worldwide. It's still popular. What about you? Thanks for your fantastic show. Damn it. He says it like it's an opinion.
Review one of the previous podcasts where we actually go over that. I think it was like
Oh man.
GTA 5 or something. Um,
Man.
or no, Minecraft was the number one selling game. GTA 5, I think,
Hmm.
was one of the most expensive games. There was some other game that was more. I don't remember. GTA
Maybe
or
GTA 5 was
Minecraft was
like
the best selling game.
maybe GTA 5 was the highest grossing game. I can't
No, no,
remember.
no. Minecraft was like far and away the most like money of all time.
Damn.
Um, hi Matt, and James. I'm a huge fan of your podcast. And I always laugh at your jokes on video games. I have a silly question for you. If you could date any video game character, who would it be? For me, it'd be Laura Croft because she's adventurous, smart, and sexy. What about you? Thanks for your hilarious Tom from Los Angeles. Well,
That's a very
James,
Tom
I'll
from
let you
Los Angeles
start.
question.
Who would you date from a video game?
I don't know, dude.
Okay,
What?
continuing on. Do you want to read the next one?
Oh boy. Hello, Matt and James. I'm a big supporter of your podcast and I love your humor and sarcasm on video games. I have a ridiculous question for you. If you were stuck on a deserted island with only one video game and one console and one with only one video game and one console, why what would they be and why? For me, it would be Nintendo Switch and Animal Crossing New Horizon because I could create my own paradise and make friends with cute animals. What about you? Thank you for the amazing show. Lisa from Berlin.
That game gets boring after one afternoon,
Yeah,
let alone
we
your
basically already
life.
had this question. What?
Yeah. What's the other one? Oh, I like this last one. Greetings, Matt and James. I'm a loyal listener of your podcast, and I enjoy your witty and funny comments on video games. I have a crazy question for you. If you could swap bodies with any video game character for a day, who would it be and why?
What?
For me, it would be Mario, because he can jump really high, throw fireballs, ride dinosaurs, and save princesses. What about you? Thanks for the fantastic show. Sam from Sydney.
That is
I love his reasoning.
man, that's a question. I'm not I don't even know how to interact with this one. But that's just the best answer. He already gave us the answer.
All right, I'm getting it to write me a podcast outro.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast and joining us on this video game adventure. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you enjoyed our show, please leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast. It really helps us out and lets us know what you think. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the Matt and James Podcast, which that's not it.
Oh
To
god.
stay updated on our latest episodes and news, don't forget to send us your viewer mail at mattandjamespodcast@gmail.com, not the email. That's the HYEP podcast at gmail.com. We love hearing from you and answering your questions on the show. Until next time, keep playing and keep laughing.
Oh my
We're out of here. Wait, we
oh.
also